scheming girl has her eye on my boyfriend. But she didn't know that he was allergic to the opposite sex other than me. She wore a sexy bathing suit and intentionally fell into the pool to call for help from her boyfriend, but he was all anticlimactic and turned around and ran away with me in his arms. Don't save me, don't kill me, or else it'll be unclean. What if you don't want me anymore? My boyfriend is a heavy relationship brain. He had a wedding ring ready in 3 months, and couldn't help but propose to me the following year. Before he proposed, he even transferred his house, car and savings to my name, so that I would have no reason to refuse. I was about to say yes under the coaxing of others. Suddenly, my sister Yvonne's voice rang in my ears. Sis, you're getting married. Why didn't you tell mom and dad and me about such an important event? Sis, are you still mad at us? Yvonne Sue is my parents' adopted daughter, 1 year younger than me. After she came to my home, my mom had a baby brother and my dad's company was getting big orders. My parents thought Yvonne Sue was a lucky charm and loved her as if she were their own daughter. However, Yvonne Sue was not satisfied and found me as her sister an eyesore. She started targeting me and causing havoc, and after Yvonne Sue planted a number of stories on me, my parents completely abandoned me. During the college entrance exam, Yvonne Sue intentionally put laxatives in my water in order to make me fail the exam, but my parents still defended her. After losing all hope, I left that family completely. Sweetie, is this your sister? My boyfriend Lucas Morgan shook my hand. I nodded my head. Yvonne's eyes immediately lit up when she saw Lucas Morgan's face, which was comparable to that of a male celebrity. She reached out her hand towards Lucas Morgan and said with affection, Brother-in-law, my name is Yvonne Sue. I am 1 year younger than my sister. My height is 165, and my weight is 43 kilograms. I am 1 year younger than my sister. My height is 165. My weight is 43 kilograms. She said in such a detailed way, and she even deliberately moved towards Lucas Morgan. It looks like Yvonne's habit of grabbing things from me is acting up again. Lucas Morgan frowned, pulling my hand in disinterest. Sweets, promise me, never lose weight again. Your sister is not a good-looking woman. Yvonne's proud figure couldn't even catch Lucas Morgan's eye. Her face darkened. I held back my laughter. Do you know how to speak? What do you mean by skinny? Nowadays, girls like to be thinner. It's unhealthy to be so skinny. Don't follow their example. After Lu Ming finished, he finally remembered Yvonne Sue. Lucas Morgan, your sister's boyfriend. Yvonne's eyes twinkled, looking like she was brewing something bad. She pretended not to notice and asked, Sis, did you break up with your high school boyfriend? You met your parents in high school. I thought you had already decided on each other and would get married. I think it's ridiculous. There is no such thing as a boyfriend, as Yvonne Sue said. He was just an eccentric suitor who was crazy about love and alarmed his teachers and parents. What's even more ridiculous is that my mom still thinks it's my problem. She said if it wasn't for me attracting butterflies at school, how would I have attracted such a man? Lucas Morgan was instantly cold. Who doesn't have an ex? Who says you have to get married to date? You need to loosen the cloth around your head. Yvonne Sue tries to get between us, but Lucas Morgan reprimands her in return. Her eyes turned red as if she had been wronged. Brother-in-law, I'm sorry. I was just being frank. I didn't mean anything else. She looked at Lucas Morgan with tears in her eyes, a pitiful sight to behold. It worked well with my parents and my brother. Whenever Yvonne Sue cried like that, they instantly softened. But Lucas Morgan is not my parents or my brother. He doesn't eat Yvonne's words and doesn't look at her. We're going to eat. Yvonne Sue smiled stiffly and said cheekily, I'll eat with my sister and brother-in-law, as an apology to my sister. Yvonne Sue knows whether it's to make amends or to leave me behind. Lucas Morgan looked unhappy and was about to refuse, but I pulled his hand and said, "Let's eat together, or else she'll use other tactics to stay. Otherwise, she will have to use other means to stay. After all, Yvonne Sue has always been a person who will not stop until she achieves her goal." With my permission, Yvonne Sue sat next to Lucas Morgan without saying a word, saying, "Brother-in-law, my sister likes to sit alone. Do you mind if I sit on your side?" Lucas Morgan covered his nose and sneezed. "I mind. Your perfume smell is too heavy. I am allergic to perfume." Then he sat next to me. My heart was warmed. In fact, he is not allergic to perfume at all. To be precise, Lucas Morgan is a perfume addict. The dozens of bottles of perfume on my dresser were all collected by Lucas Morgan. He also likes to bury himself in the nape of my neck and say it smells good. The waiter started to serve the food one after another, among which there is a bowl of bird's nest congee, which Lucas Morgan specially ordered for me. Yvonne Sue couldn't wait to bring the bowl of bird's nest congee to me. I love bird's nest congee. It's so good for my skin. It's good for beauty. Thank you, brother-in-law, for ordering it for me. Before his words fell, Lucas Morgan snatched the bird's nest porridge that was about to reach her mouth and put it directly in front of me. "This is what I ordered for Sweetie." Yvonne Sue watched the scene, her eyes red with jealousy, as if the bird's nest porridge was some kind of absolute treasure. "That's right. Sister seems to have gotten a tan. It's good to have some bird's nest porridge to whiten up." She pretended to be generous. Unexpectedly, Lucas Morgan's eyes are poisonous and his mouth is even more poisonous. He scooped up a spoonful of bird's nest congee and brought it to my mouth, saying carelessly, "Sweetie is much whiter than you. Why would she need to drink this to whiten her skin? She just likes to eat desserts, and it just so happens that my hotel's bird's nest congee is more famous." Yvonne Sue's face turned green. She was dark and skinny when she first came to our house. My parents were so generous. They sent bowls of bird's nest congee to her like she didn't need the money. Plus, she's had a lot of whitening injections over the years, which has transformed her into the woman she is now. Lucas Morgan, as if he didn't see Yvonne Sue's ugly face, pulled my hand and got up. "I still have to teach your sister how to swim, so I want to accompany you. Let's go first," he said. Back in the room, Lucas Morgan quickly changed into his swimming trunks. Under the light, his shoulders were broad and his legs were long, and his abs were so eye-catching that I couldn't help but look at them several times. "Sweetie, hurry up and change into your swimsuit." Lucas Morgan took out his swimsuit and urged me. The bathing suit was so sexy, it was obvious that Lucas Morgan was not in a good mood. I dawdled and said, "You go first. I'm going to the restroom." In fact, I was too embarrassed to wear it. When Lucas Morgan was sent away, I secretly changed into the one-piece bathing suit I had bought, and I felt much more comfortable. At the hotel pool, Lucas Morgan said he had the place cleaned. But at the moment, besides Lucas Morgan, I also saw Yvonne Sue's figure. "Brother-in-law, I also want to learn swimming. Please teach me," Yvonne Sue said to Lucas Morgan. Her bathing suit had less fabric than the one Lucas Morgan had bought, and it didn't fit her properly, making her swimsuit wobble when she moved. She didn't know that Lucas Morgan was different. He was particularly observant of old-fashioned morals and kept his distance from Yvonne Sue throughout, saying in a firm tone, "I only teach your sister. Sister is afraid of water. She doesn't dare to do it at all." "Indifferent. Bold," Yvonne Sue said, pretending her feet slipped and fell straight into Lucas Morgan's arms. Unsurprisingly, the next part of the encounter was a passionate encounter. However, Lucas Morgan avoided it. With a splash, Yvonne Sue fell into the pool. the water splashed 3 feet high, and Lucas Morgan hurriedly backed up, as if he was afraid that he wouldn't be clean if he got a little bit of water on him. I almost laughed out loud when Lucas Morgan spotted the figure. He picked me up and turned to run, feigning anger as he did so. Little heartless. I waited for you for half a day and you ended up watching the show from behind. I hurriedly calmed him down and smoothed his fur. I just got here, didn't I? Lucas Morgan looked at the conservative swimsuit I was wearing and said in a sour tone, "Sweetie, you didn't wear the swimsuit I bought because you didn't like it. I didn't realize you didn't like it. If I had known, I would have." Afraid of Lucas Morgan's temper, I hurriedly denied. No, 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 no. I like it. I especially like it. I just don't want my sister to see it, so that she won't talk nonsense. Yvonne Sue, who was forgotten by us, was slapping the water hard to attract our attention. Brother-in-law, how can you just watch me fall? I don't even know how to swim. Help. Help me. She waved one hand in the pool, her speech broken and breathless, taking a few sips of pool water in between. For the sake of Lucas Morgan, Yvonne Sue is really open-minded. Yvonne Sue has been learning to swim since elementary school, and has won awards in amateur competitions in the children's division, but now she says she can't swim. Moreover, her acting is quite decent, a bit realistic. As if she really can't swim. Lucas Morgan asked incredulously, "Sugar, your sister really can't swim?" I got off of him. She said she doesn't know how. So hurry up and save her. Yvonne Zu's face flashed with a touch of joy, but her mouth delicately and weakly shouted, "Brother-in-law, save me." Lucas Morgan did not even look at her and criticized me with a stern face. If I go to save her, won't I be unclean? What if you don't want me then? I'm not going. Worthy of being the standard bearer of old-fashioned morals. Amazingly sober. Unfortunately, Yvonne Sue didn't seem to hear me, and was still waiting blearily for her Prince Charming to rescue her. I blinked and pretended to be worried. What about Yvonne Sue? We can't just stand by and watch something happen to her, can we? I don't think so. Yvonne Sue is probably a better swimmer than Lucas Morgan. She just sacrificed herself for love. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Lucas Morgan made a phone call, and soon a coach-like man came in. He pointed at Yvonne Sue in the pool, who had turned pale, and said, "Someone has fallen into the water. You save her." No. Yvonne Sue resisted and swam backward. But the coach was already in the water and quickly swam to her side to hold her. However, Yvonne Sue did not cooperate with the coach's rescue and kept struggling. Until now, she had not given up on the idea of Lucas Morgan saving her. Her swimsuit didn't fit. Under Yvonne Zu's hard struggle, the shoulder strap finally loosened, and with a snap, the one-piece swimsuit slipped off her body. Lucas Morgan pulled me around and headed out the door. "Let's get out of here. Your sister will be fine." After a few minutes, Yvonne Sue came out as well. Her bathing suit was already on, and she had a large bath towel draped over her body, wrapping her whole body tightly. "Sister, I know you don't like me, but you can't just let me be in inappropriate contact with another man, can you?" Yvonne Sue came over to me and looked at me and Lucas Morgan with fuzzy tears in her eyes. She thought it was because I said something to Lucas Morgan that he didn't go down to save her. Lucas Morgan immediately sneered and asked, "Saving her from death? What's standing in front of us now? Is it a ghost?" Yvonne Sue has ruined 2 things for Lucas Morgan today, and the guy has been unhappy for a long time. Yvonne Sue covered her mouth, eyes wide open. "Brother-in-law, why are you talking about me like this? If my sister hadn't stopped you from coming down to save me, how would I have walked around the gates of hell and been seen naked by this coach?" Yvonne Sue huffed and puffed. Her pale face looked weak. Lucas Morgan grunted coldly. You're overthinking it. I'm the one who didn't go to the rescue. He picked up where he left off and continued to add, I'm allergic to women other than your sister. I'm not going to save you. This sentence was too blunt and struck Yvonne Sue so hard that her face turned blue. Before she could adjust her mind, Lucas Morgan warned her again. Also, who gave you permission to run in here pretending to be your sister? If there's a next time, they'll directly call someone to throw you out. If she hadn't lied about her identity, she wouldn't have been let in. Let alone what just happened. Yvonne Sue was so embarrassed that she covered her face and ran away. I don't think this matter will end here. But soldiers come and soldiers go. I have confidence in the old-fashioned morals of Lucas Morgan, and am not afraid of what Yvonne Sue will do. My instincts were right. My dad called me at night to tell me to come home and bring Lucas Morgan with me. Did Yvonne Sue snitch on you guys so quickly? I asked, but I wasn't surprised. It would be unusual for her not to snitch on my parents. Hope is not like that. She cares about you and is worried that you'll be cheated, my dad said sternly. My dad said sternly. Oh, my dad is probably the only one who believes in this kind of nonsense. My dad continued on the phone. Tomorrow is your mom's birthday. Why don't you come back together? After that, he quickly cut off the phone as if he was afraid of my refusal. When Lucas Morgan learned that my dad wanted to see him, he didn't reject him at all, and even jumped up with excitement. Let's buy a birthday present for my mother-in-law. This is the first time I've met your parents. So I want to leave a good impression. I looked at Lucas Morgan, who was dancing around. Don't get too excited. My parents will most likely let you down. Those are the ones who can pick a bone out of an egg. I have faith in myself and I have faith in your parents. They'll love me. The problem was that he felt I didn't trust him enough. And he punished me hard at night. I kept begging and crying and saying I trusted him. Lucas Morgan finally let me go. Lucas Morgan was so enthusiastic about the meeting that he prepared a lot of elaborate gifts and came back to my house the next day with all these big bags. My parents were ready to pick on Lucas Morgan in the harshest way possible. But Lucas Morgan has the looks, the education, and even the family is more than 10 times better than my family. My mom couldn't help but recognize Lucas Morgan's excellence. What a lucky coincidence. Ever since I was a kid, my mom has had a habit of putting me down like this. I got good grades because I was lucky. I got into a good college because I overachieved. And even finding a good date was a lucky coincidence. It's not nice to hear, but I don't care anymore. Mom, since you also think Lucas Morgan is nice, give me the family registry, just as we are getting ready to get married. I held out my hand towards my mom. Lucas Morgan had done so much for me, it was only natural for me to return the favor. He wants nothing more than to make me his bride in a hurry. And I'll fulfill him as soon as I get my family registry. My mom frowned, unhappy, said, You two astrologically incompatible, cannot be married. I didn't expect my mom, who has no faults with my education, family, or appearance, to take the issue of phases, and immediately froze. What my mom said next ignited my anger. Yuan and Lucas Morgan's astrological signs are a good match. They are a perfect match. And they will surely have happy marriages and harmonious families in the future. You should give Lucas Morgan to your sister, my mom said without thinking. In an instant, I felt a chill go through my body. Was this really my real mother? When I was little, she said that I was the older sister and had to give in to my younger sister, so I gave all my toys to Yvonne Sue. When Mom and Dad bought new clothes, Yvonne Sue had to pick them out first. And only if she didn't like them would she leave them to me. Now she is still in the habit of treating Lucas Morgan as an object and giving them a free hand to choose. I don't agree. My mom sank her face and pointed at me in annoyance. Why are you so careful? It's just a man. Why are you so calculating? She was always like this, firmly defending Yvonne Sue between me and Yvonne Sue. I took a deep breath and was about to retort when I suddenly heard Yvonne Sue awe. It turned out that Yvonne Sue was entertaining Lucas Morgan instead of my dad, and when she poured him tea, she accidentally poured tea on Lucas Morgan's pants. And it was still in a sensitive spot. Brother-in-law, sorry. My hand shook. I'll wipe it for you. Yvonne Sue apologized on her mouth, but her eyes were flashing with excitement. Her white hand drew out a few paper towels and couldn't wait to wipe towards Lucas Morgan's pants. No need. I can do it myself. Lucas Morgan was in the way of my parents' presence and didn't say anything bad. Yvonne Sue insisted on moving towards Lucas Morgan, and even said, "Don't be shy, brother-in-law. Otherwise it's hard to stick to your pants when they're wet." There was a duster left behind by the maid. Lucas Morgan picked it up and hit his hand hard. Yvonne Sue immediately screamed out, "It hurts. Why did you hit me?" Lucas Morgan innocently raised his eyebrows. Originally I wanted to block away a bit, but I didn't realize that my hand slipped and my strength was a bit too heavy. "I'm sorry." Looking at the red mark on the back of Yvonne's hand, I almost laughed out loud. Lucas Morgan's hand slipped at the right time, and it was a great relief. Yvonne Sue just had a bad hand. "Okay, Hope. Your brother-in-law didn't mean it. If your hand hurts, hurry up and get some medicine." My dad jumped out to make amends. My mom was also heartbroken and took Yvonne's hand and looked at it again and again. "Yes. Don't leave a scar." Yvonne Sue wanted to say something else, but Lucas Morgan took my hand and left. "Sweetie, take me to the restroom," my dad quickly said. "I'll be right back." My dad quickly said, "I have some new pants over there that I haven't worn." "No, a hairdryer will do the trick." Lucas Morgan is a big clean freak. He won't wear my dad's pants, even if they are brand new. After blow-drying his pants with him, Lucas Morgan didn't want to look at Yvonne's face, so he took my hand and said he wanted to visit my room. He said, "Sugar, I want to see where you grew up." This man stirred up emotion and left me defenseless. I led him upstairs. My room was on the second floor. Inside there was a 1-meter tall crib, a closet, and a simple desk. This room was to the north and saw no sun all year round. The light was poor. It was not cleaned during my absence. The floor was full of dust, and the air smelled musty. Originally Lucas Morgan was still excited, but after looking at the room, his face was so gloomy that it could drip water. "Sugar, they let you live in this kind of room?" I let out a bitter smile and gently nodded my head. "It's hard to believe, isn't it? There are 6 rooms upstairs and downstairs in my house, and mine is the smallest and worst." Lucas Morgan was furious and dragged me downstairs to make a decision for me. "What do your parents mean? I can't even imagine how you've gotten by all these years." The room was too much of a shock for Lucas Morgan, but I was used to it. "Don't be mad. It's all in the past. I wasn't coming back from college anyway, and for that, my mom didn't say I was an ungrateful person. But she said what she said, and I was determined not to change." "What's in the past? How can this be over? If I had known that your parents would bully you like this, why did I bring you home? I wanted them to give us their blessing." Lucas Morgan regretted. He felt that it was a mistake to come back to this family. Not only was he disgusted by Yvonne Sue, but he also found out that my parents didn't love me at all. Lucas Morgan was full of guilt. "Sugar, I should have realized it earlier. You never mentioned your parents. I was too stupid. This man, it's clearly my parents' pot. What is he reflecting on himself for?" I stood on my tiptoes and kissed the corner of his lips, coaxing him like a baby. "You're not stupid. It's just that I didn't want to tell you. It's not your fault either. You're the best and most loving person in the world to me. I forbid you to look at yourself for your problems. Lucas Morgan hugged me hard. I'm sorry. It's my fault for showing up too late. If anyone dares to bully you in the future, they'll make sure that they'll have to pay for it. Lucas Morgan said fiercely. I didn't doubt for a second that he could do it. Lucas Morgan seemed to be very good-tempered, but in fact, he could not tolerate a single grain of sand in his eyes, and he was very protective of his shortcomings. Although I tried to calm Lucas Morgan down for a long time, he still didn't look good when he came downstairs. My brother, Zach Sue, was still unaware of the fact that Lucas Morgan's gun was being used against him. Mom, why don't you tell me about Tina Sue, what kind of boyfriend she has? And look at my sister's hand, how swollen it is. Zach Sue didn't even show up when we first got back. He didn't treat me well. He always yelled at me and wouldn't call me sister. But he was different with Yvonne Sue. They were very close, and he always thought of sending Yvonne Sue anything, just like a brother and sister. Like when I brought Lucas Morgan home today, Zach Sue didn't even come downstairs. He didn't even bother to see me. But when he found out that Yvonne Sue was injured, he jumped out of his seat to fight for Yvonne Sue. Zach Sue had his back to us and didn't realize we were coming down. But Yvonne Sue saw it. She pretended to persuade. Zach, don't say that. Brother-in-law didn't do it on purpose. It's weird if it's not on purpose. Yesterday you had a leg cramp and she stopped that man from saving you, almost causing you to die. And today she came to make this mess. I raised my eyebrows and listened to Zach Suss chatter with interest. So Yvonne Sue said it was her leg cramps. Huh. Lucas Morgan sank to his knees and was about to speak when I tugged on his hand, signaling him to keep his mouth shut. I wanted to see what else Zach Sue could say. What leg cramp? What almost died? My mom, obviously not knowing, rushed to follow up. I walked down the stairs and nodded. Yes. What leg cramp? What almost died? Yvonne Sue, you might as well say it clearly. I want to hear it too. A flash of panic appeared on Yvonne Suss's face. She laughed dryly and shook her head. Sis, this is a misunderstanding. When she and Zach Sue were reversing right and wrong, I'm afraid she didn't think that I would be there. When they really confronted each other, Yvonne Suss's wrong words would be exposed. Zach Sue stood up from the sofa and pushed me. What's the misunderstanding? Sister, stop defending Tina Sue. You were almost killed by her. I stumbled on my feet. Just as I was about to fall, Lucas Morgan appeared behind me and steadily caught me. I could feel the chill start to release from Lucas Morgan's body. To him, any move to hurt me would be unforgivable. But Zach Sue didn't even notice and was still being aggressive. Tina Sue, you are a scourge, a disaster. You caused Mom to have a difficult labor when she was just born and her body was damaged. God knows how long it took for Mom to adjust before she could have me. You're also petty, vicious, and calculating. You don't deserve to be my sister. Zach Sue was talking about my crimes, but before he finished, his knee was suddenly kicked by Lucas Morgan. The unguarded Zach Sue screamed out in misery. Both knees landed on the ground, heavily kneeling on the ground. Yvonne Suss's mouth dropped open and my mom froze. Lucas Morgan's demeanor was cold and his face was like a Shura. He said, a stupid, rash person like you really doesn't deserve to be Sweetie's brother. Lucas Morgan's action caused an earthquake-like sensation. Zach Sue is a very precious member of my family. My parents don't even care to say a word about him, let alone fight with him. Under my parents' pampering and indulgence, he has long been a man of no one's opinion, and he is the only one who respects himself. Zach Suss's eyes turned red with anger and he jumped up to fight back. Lou, I'll kill you. Of course, he was just talking tough. In fact, just as he got up, Lucas Morgan was quick to add a kick to his knee. The self-respecting Zach Sue once again fell to his knees. The sound of his knee hitting the floor was so hard that I felt the pain for Zach Sue just listening to it. But for Lucas Morgan's action, I just want to praise him. Good kick. You. Not good enough. Lucas Morgan sneered a few times. A teenage kid dares to bully his own sister like this. You can imagine what kind of life Sweetie had in the past. The heartache and guilt under Lucas Morgan's eyes were about to overflow as he spoke. He no longer wanted to stay in this house to see me suffer. Nor did he want to celebrate my mom's birthday. Holding my hand, he said, "Sweets, let's go back." This sentence is exactly what I want. Whoever wants to stay in this home. I won't serve you anymore. I'm not serving. We were almost to the front door when my mom reacted, furiously ordering us to stand still. Lucas Morgan and I didn't budge. My mom threatened us with the account book. You don't want the account book. You don't want to register your marriage. I turned back coldly. If the price is to stay and be humiliated by you, then I'd rather not have this account book. Yes, we don't want it. Lucas Morgan answered dryly and walked away exceptionally clean. But that was just him pretending. On the way back, Lucas Morgan told me seriously, "Sweetie, you don't have to have a hookup book. Just take your ID card and open a certificate. Then we can get a license." In his heart, he was still calculating how to turn me into his bride earlier. My heart is sweet, agreed without saying a word. Then go to open the certificate now. It is also my wish to become his bride earlier. After receiving the certificate, Lucas Morgan happily prepared for the wedding. Originally, he and I agreed that a small, simple wedding would be fine. But because of what my family did, Lucas Morgan backtracked, thinking that a low-key wedding would be a fool's errand. Sugar, I don't want to aggravate you. You must have what others have, and what others don't have. You must have. I don't want to compromise. I'm just afraid of trouble. Just thinking about the hassle of a wedding made my head spin, and I even considered traveling to get married. But this idea was strongly opposed by Lucas Morgan. Lucas Morgan looked at me like a little daughter-in-law. I am aggrieved. I want to tell everyone out loud that you are my Lucas Morgan's bride. Sweetie, will you give me this chance? You don't have to worry about the wedding. Leave it all to me. All you have to do is to be a beautiful bride. Lucas Morgan's pampering is killing me. I can't resist this kind of sugar-coated attack. His eyes are all about me, making me feel like it's a crime to refuse him. Originally I was afraid of trouble, but once I was brainwashed by Lucas Morgan, I agreed to him with an unsteady stance. Okay. If you say it's going to be grand, it's going to be grand. I've given him my life. What's wrong with a wedding? Lucas Morgan was so happy that he picked me up and twirled me around. Sweetie, honey, I love you so much. I kissed him and told him, I love you too. On the day of the wedding, I didn't even tell my parents. It's not that they didn't contact me during this time, only that I refused to answer all the phone calls and blacked out WeChat, completely drawing a line with them. So my mom spread rumors among my relatives to discredit me. I'm not sure what I'm talking about, but I'm not sure what I'm talking about, and I'm not sure what I'm talking about, and I'm not sure what I'm talking about. I thought that my mom had reached this point. Must be special backbone. And I will never get along with me. I never thought that they would come uninvited on the day Lucas Morgan and I got married. My mom was dressed in a gorgeous dress, and she said, I'm your mom. How can I not be there for such a big event as your wedding? Yvonne Sue sweetly added on my mom's behalf. Sis, my parents and I are here to wish you well, and we are thinking of you these days. I don't know if we are thinking about you or not. I don't know if we do or don't, But she sure does think about Lucas Morgan. She knew I was getting married today, but she wore a white dress, which resembles a wedding dress. If you don't know, you might think she is the bride today. When Lucas Morgan saw Yvonne's dress, his eyes began to spit fire. You intentionally stole the limelight from Sweetie. You deserve it. Either get lost, or change the dress you're wearing immediately. Yvonne Sue beamed in aggravation. Brother-in-law, it's not that serious. I just want everyone to know that my sister and I are sisters. Lucas Morgan usually looks like a modest gentleman, but when he is angry, he is very scary. He didn't say anything. He directly called the security guards. Throw her out of the room. Yvonne Sue was so scared that she lost her face. Lucas Morgan's sharp line of sight sent chills down her spine, and she practically rolled and crawled away. Don't throw her out. I'll go and change it now. My dad looked at the direction Yvonne Sue left and fawned to please Lucas Morgan. Son-in-law, today is your and Sweetie's big day. Don't be upset because of Yvonne Sue, who doesn't know any better. Due to the fact that there are a lot of people here today, Lucas Morgan didn't say anything to kick him out in front of everyone. But if Yvonne Sue can be a good girl and stay out of trouble, she won't be called Yvonne Sue anymore. Before the wedding started, I went to the bathroom and Yvonne Sue came in, wearing the same wedding dress as mine. Only her wedding dress looked like a lower-end version. The lines and diamonds on it were a bit poor quality. Not only was she wearing a wedding dress, but her makeup was also very similar to mine. Those who don't know would think it's me. Yvonne Sue, what do you mean? Anyone who saw a fake version of herself would be angry, not to mention that my relationship with Yvonne Sue was already poor. Yvonne Sue ruffled her long wavy hair and said with a smug look on her face, "That's what you're seeing. Today I'm going to take over and become Lucas Morgan's bride. You're dreaming, right?" Lucas Morgan's love brain is so sensitive that he remembers exactly what I smell like, not to mention Yvonne's poor disguise as me. He's not blind. How could he not recognize me? The one who is dreaming is you. Steal a man from me, Tina Sue. You are destined to lose. Yvonne's face turned cold, dodged out and closed the bathroom door from the outside, locking me inside. Yvonne Sue, you maniac. Open the door now. You just stay in there. When I become Lucas Morgan's wife, he'll have to recognize me even if he doesn't want to. Soon, Yvonne's voice disappeared, and the thought of her pretending to be me and marrying Lucas Morgan made me sick to my stomach. But my cell phone was outside, so I couldn't even ask for help. I kicked the door as hard as I could, almost breaking my foot, and just when I was feeling desperate, Lucas Morgan came out of nowhere. Lucas Morgan, how did you get here so fast? I looked at him with surprise. Today, Lucas Morgan was dressed in a white suit, tall and long-legged, as if he was a walking luminary. Lucas Morgan held me in his arms and carefully surveyed my feet. Does it hurt? Honey, can you still walk? Although he asked this question with his mouth, his action was very real as he picked me up by the waist. Only then did he bother to answer my question. I had long guessed that she would be a demon. From the moment she entered the door, I had someone keep an eye on her. My eyes lit up. No wonder you agreed to let them in. It turns out that Lucas Morgan had prepared for this. I have to say, this man is too good. So where is she now? Lucas Morgan put me on the sofa in the room and rubbed my legs for me. A touch of disgust showed in his eyes. Doesn't she hate marriage? Then I'll fulfill her. Yvonne Sue did the first day. Lucas Morgan simply did the 15th. He asked a man who looks like him to put on a groom's costume, led Yvonne Sue to the small hall, and married the fake groom Lucas Morgan. I was so surprised by this kind of operation. I gossiped. Will Yvonne Sue find out about this? I don't care if they find out. I'm not the one who's going to be humiliated anyway. He took out his cell phone, which was playing the surveillance video of the small hall. Today's banquet obviously had 88 tables. But there were only 8 tables in the small hall, and my parents were also arranged in this side. My parents were still a bit confused, probably guessing how Lucas Morgan could make the wedding so shabby. It wasn't long before Yvonne Sue and Lucas Morgan showed up. Yvonne's veil was much denser than mine, covering her face and line of sight. And because the imposter was afraid of revealing her flaws, she kept her head lowered, and surprisingly, she didn't realize that the groom had been switched. When the ceremony was over and the groom opened her veil to kiss her, Yvonne Sue realized that the groom was the wrong man. "Who are you and where is Lucas Morgan?" Yvonne Sue got emotional and pushed the groom away. "The one who married me is Lucas Morgan. Who are you?" The imposter. The groom didn't dare to lag behind and asked her back. "The person who married Lucas Morgan is called Tina Sue. She doesn't look like you. Who are you?" Meanwhile, upstairs, Lucas Morgan and I had our real wedding. Lucas Morgan had the small hall guarded so they couldn't get out and disturb us. I was happy, and Lucas Morgan was unaffected by them, smiling wider than a flower. When the wedding banquet was over, Lucas Morgan let my dad and his family out. Yvonne Sue was the first to rush up. "Ming Shin, how could you do this to me? I almost lost my innocence." Hearing her call Lucas Morgan's name, I felt a wave of revulsion in my heart. Lucas Morgan showed a disgusted expression. "Who gave you permission to call me that?" My mom, who had not been able to get her mother-in-law's attention today and was still angry, couldn't stand it any longer and said, "Lucas Morgan, open your eyes. Yuan is much better than Tina Sue." Unlike Tina Sue, who has a very toxic personality and is so sick that she can't even have a baby. In the past, my mom only said that I was unpleasant, but I never thought that now, in front of Lucas Morgan, she would slander me for not being able to have a baby because of my health problems. I felt a chill in my heart. How much did she hate me to attack me like this? My mom didn't care what I thought and chattered, "You'll have bad luck if you marry Tina Sue. You might as well marry Yuan. She's a prosperous husband and has a good body. She'll be able to have children." Unfortunately, Lucas Morgan's reaction was destined to disappoint her. Lucas Morgan wrapped his arm around my waist and looked condescendingly at my mom. "What's so great about being able to give birth? Go to a pig farm and find a sow that can definitely give birth better than Yvonne Sue. So what if Sweetie can't have a baby? I don't care at all. Being a child-free couple is perfect. Sweetie and I will be a couple for the rest of our lives." My mom was baffled. She has probably never seen such a stubborn person as Lucas Morgan. He didn't even care if he couldn't have children. She tried to ask my mother-in-law for help, so that she could repudiate me. "Mother-in-law, you have to persuade him. What's the point of marrying a woman who can't have children? It's the end of the Liu family." Unfortunately, my mom doesn't understand that Lucas Morgan learned his backbone from my mother-in-law. The mother and son are the same. My mother-in-law snorted. "My family doesn't have a throne to inherit. If Sweetie wants to have a baby, it's up to her, and I don't have a problem with my son being sterilized on the spot." My mom was doomed when she ran into such an anti-bone mother and son. Lucas Morgan called the police and accused Yvonne Sue of locking me in the bathroom, causing me great physical and mental harm. He wanted to sue Yvonne Sue. My mom immediately jumped out to defend Yvonne Sue. "Lucas Morgan, how dare you? She dared to lock up my wife. Why don't I dare to sue her? Not only do I want to sue her, I want her to go to jail. You're the first person who dares to count on me, Lucas Morgan." When the police came, Yvonne Sue realized that Lucas Morgan was serious and finally showed her fear. She held my mom's hand. "Mom, I was just joking with my brother-in-law. I can't go to jail." If Lucas Morgan hadn't realized her intention in advance, how happy would she be now? My dad also put in a good word for Yvonne Sue. "Son-in-law, for my sake, Please spare your sister for once. Sweetie. You should also say something. Your sister is in jail. You will not look good, right? My dad asked me suggestively. Lucas Morgan mocked. Don't morally kidnap my wife. I don't want this kind of shameless sister. My mom couldn't bear the thought of her beautiful second daughter going to jail. She cried so much that she knelt down to Lucas Morgan. I beg you. If Hope goes to jail, she'll never see anyone again. An elder kneeling so humbly is very stressful for a junior. Lucas Morgan was unmoved. He sneered at my mom, treating your lover's daughter as a baby and kneeling for her. MS. Lou. Your heart is unmatched. Seeing that my mom didn't understand his words, Lucas Morgan called for a document and threw it in front of her. I don't know what was written on the document, but my mom went crazy after reading it and suddenly lunged at my dad. Soo-han, how dare you bring that bitch's daughter home? The reason for this is that Lucas Morgan suspected Yvonne's identity and had someone check it out. But he accidentally found out that Yvonne Sue is the daughter of my dad's ex-girlfriend. Afraid that my mom wouldn't approve of bringing her home, my dad went through all the trouble of going through an orphanage and arranging a lucky charm for Yvonne Sue. He really went through a lot of trouble for Yvonne Sue. Mom, what are you guys talking about? Why can't I understand at all? Yvonne Sue asked in panic. My mom heard Yvonne's voice and climbed up to yank Yvonne's hair. Little bitch. Don't call me mom. I don't have a daughter as shameless as you. No wonder you dared to steal my son-in-law at the wedding. So you learned from your own mother. In the end, they were separated and Yvonne Sue was taken away by the police with a swollen face. And my mom finally realized she was wrong. She was so remorseful that she ran to Lou's house to apologize to me. Sweetie, Mom was wrong. Mom misunderstood you. Your father and Yvonne Sue are no good. They caused us to be centrifuged as mother and daughter, and we missed out for so many years. She couldn't catch her breath as she cried. Obviously it was only a few days ago, but my mom was much more haggard, as if she had instantly aged a dozen years. Looking at her face full of remorse, my heart was at peace. There's no need to apologize. Because I won't forgive you even if you do, I replied coldly. All the harm I've suffered over the years was brought on by her. Could a light apology cancel that out? My mom's hopeful gaze darkened all of a sudden. Sweetie, Mom doesn't dare to ask for your forgiveness. Mom just wants to come and see you from time to time. Let Mom make it up to you. Okay. I don't want to see your face, and I don't need you to make the so-called amends. After all these years, I've long since looked away. I don't have a mother-daughter bond with you. If you really know you're wrong, just stay away from me from now on. My mom left in a state of despair. It was said that she went back and asked my dad for a divorce. In fact, their relationship had been on the verge of collapse for a long time, and this incident only intensified the speed of their divorce. And my dad, as the most hateful culprit, his retribution came quickly. Just after he divorced my mom, he was diagnosed with uremia, and after a few months of dialysis, his condition didn't improve. So he finally had to get a new kidney. A suitable kidney source is not so easy to find. So my dad set his sights on me. He braced himself for a weak body and came to Lou's house, but he didn't even enter the front door. Lucas Morgan told him, "Get lost. Don't hit on my wife." With Lucas Morgan in front of him, my dad didn't dare to be tough and he had to beg Zach Sue instead. After the divorce, Zach Sue lived with my mom. In the face of my dad's hard pleas, Zach Sue's gaze was evasive. Dad, I'm only 18 years old. I don't want to be an invalid with a kidney. My dad's favorite son also rejected him. One day, Lucas Morgan and I went to the movies, but I was surprised to see my mom burst in, looking panicked. I thought she was pestering me again, and I was trying to drag Lucas Morgan away. But my mom didn't even see us. She ran to the last row and pulled out a young man and woman. Surprisingly, it was Zach Sue and Yvonne Sue. My mom slapped Yvonne Sue hard twice, knocking Yvonne Sue to the ground. No wonder Zach is asking me for more and more money. More and more often. So it's your doing. I stayed in my seat and watched the show, thinking that Zach Sue knew Yvonne Sue's identity, and was still willing to help her. Zach Sue's feelings for Yvonne Sue are very deep. Yvonne Sue was in tears and Zach Sue rushed to stop my mom. Mom, why are you hitting Yuan? I gave her all that money voluntarily. Wait, what did you call Yvonne Sue? My mom stared at Zach Sue and asked in a trembling voice. Zach Sue put his arm around Yvonne Sue's shoulder and smiled brightly at my mom. Mom, I'm with Yuan. She's my girlfriend now. The son of my heart is with the daughter of my enemy. The blow was absolutely devastating. I only saw my mom stumble a bit, her body shaking as if she was going to fall down at any moment. Yvonne Sue added, Mom, don't worry, they'll take good care of Zay. The two of us grew up together. We have a deep bond. We know each other well. Aren't we the so-called childhood sweethearts? From this distance, I could hear Yvonne Sue's provocation to my mom. My mom can accept anyone other than Yvonne Sue, but she can't accept Yvonne Sue. No, I won't allow it. Break up. Break up now. My mom covered her chest, looking furious. But a man and a woman in love can't afford to be beaten up. Zach Sue didn't listen. Mom, are you forcing me to do this? Why should Yuan and I have to bear the brunt of your previous generation's grudges? What did you say? My mom looked at Zach Sue in disbelief. I said I want break up with Yuan. I love her. Zach Sue, if you continue to date her, they'll disown you as my son. Tina Sue broke up with you. Mom, do you want me to break up with you too? Aren't you afraid that when you die, you won't have anyone to take care of you? Zach Sue said in dissatisfaction. In the past 2 years, my mom's health was already not good, and stimulated by Zach Sue's stupid comments, she could not hold on and collapsed. When she was taken to the hospital, she was diagnosed as having a stroke, and now she can barely speak. Zach Sue is still young and has no responsibility, and Yvonne Sue has a grudge against my mom for hitting out at her a few times. Both of them sent my mom to a nursing home and left. Zach Sue got my mom's money, and Yvonne Sue and Zach Sue had a good time. But they just spent and didn't earn. They just sat on their asses. Soon they fell out. Yvonne Sue couldn't stand the misery of the stingy life, so she went behind Zach Sue's back and got a rich boyfriend. And dumped Zach Sue. Zach Sue is devastated and finds Yvonne Sue's place of residence, where they have a verbal altercation. And in a fit of rage, Zach Sue pushes Yvonne Sue off the balcony. A love affair. Both of them lost their lives. One of them was crippled, and the other one was sentenced to jail. When all this had nothing to do with me. I didn't show up on the day of the trial. Because I was pregnant with Lucas Morgan's baby. I have a lot of painful memories from my family. But am not going to get stuck in my muddy past. Because Lucas Morgan and his parents brought me a lot of joy and good times. They have healed me and healed our future.